Welcome back everybody to the show. This is May Ann and I'm broadcasting to you live with Disruptive Live from Singapore. We're at Cloud Expo Asia, and of course today we have a couple of guests who are here on air with us to talk with us about what they're doing in the world, which is really, really exciting. And today, right now, I've got with me a very good friend of mine, Sea Lin, who is with Aquaria. Welcome, Sea Lin, to the show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
So tell me a little bit about what you do at Aquaria, and well, in the first instance, what does Aquaria do?
Okay. Again, thanks for the invitation to be here to share about digital government. So Aquaria, we have been serving governments actually for 20 years. We started with e-government by helping them put transactional services online. But now with the evolution from e-government to digital government, now we are working with them to help them embrace technology to roll out new citizen-centric services. Our main business really is to provide a digital government platform, which is called the Aquaria Government Platform, or EGP in short, to allow governments to actually build, integrate, test, operate, manage services online. So it's actually a full stack of hardware and a suite of software that you can just roll straight into your data center, flick the switch, and you can have it up and running.
So could you share a little bit about the actual work that you do? Because I mean, let's say one of the governments, they were actually watching the show and say, okay, that sounds pretty interesting. It sounds like a plug and play kind of thing. But and now that they know that you're here, they can contact you. But what's sort of like the first couple of steps that they would take? Because I mean, it's nice to have a plug and play, but obviously some governments already have legacy systems in place already. What would be the first step in getting to know you guys and what you do?
So come talk to us. So recently we actually have a customer to talk to us. They have been building systems for a while, but they find that they are unable to scale, they are unable to make changes very quickly. So we went in to help them study the existing architecture, look at the skill sets of the team that they have, and then we went in and proposed how to restructure the architecture, how to put in a new set of software, and how to actually train the team up in order to go digital. So that's something that we could help some of the customers who wish to transform.
Right. So this idea of digital transformation, you've mentioned already that Aquaria has been doing this for over 20 years. What kind of trends have you seen? What's the next step in digital transformation for governments?
Right.
What are some qualities that are needed?
Okay. In terms of trends, I think I can think of three. The first trend is about co-creation, moving from government providing services to government co-creating services together with the private sector. Recently we worked with GovTech, the Singapore government agency, to launch what we call the e-ideas portal. So it's a portal where government agencies can put up problem statements and encourage the private sector citizens to post ideas on how to solve the problem. They can even vote on these ideas. So it's a way for government to engage them. The other way of co-creation is for government agencies to release and unlock their own digital assets to allow the private sector to create new services they couldn't before. The second trend is the trend towards moving towards digital dexterity.
What is this term, digital dexterity? This is something new. I've not quite heard it before.
Yeah. It's a few things. One of those things include coming together, building teams that can collaborate and accelerate delivery. In the traditional kind of organizations where you typically have business, a department for business looking after business, a department looking after perhaps development, and a department looking after operation. And when you have an IT project, what do? You select teams from different departments and then put them together and make them work. But however, they still have different reporting lines to the head of department, and they may not have the same KPIs. But when you move towards digital dexterity, you want to put all these teams together under one single team, under one single team leader. Those they have the same purpose, they have the same KPI, so that they can move faster. The other areas about digital dexterity is challenging status quo. having a disruptive mindset. A good company that speaks a lot about disruption is Uber. They totally disrupted the travel industry. They have a totally different business model with a very asset-light approach. So similar for government as well. We're seeing this, for example, in the Singapore government, they are moving from traditionally, they tend to build a lot of data centers and their own government cloud. They are now moving into public cloud because they realize that they just can't keep up with the technology. They can't have that kind of economy or scale to drive down costs.
And so that's the second trend, right?
That's the second trend.
Co-creation, digital dexterity, and
Yes.
the third trend?
The third trend I'm seeing is moving into data-driven decisions. Okay? With digitalization, you have data, and data is a new oil. Traditionally, a lot of organizations look at data, they will use data analytics software, look at the different patterns in the data, and they make new policy decisions based on that. Well, I think we can do better. With AI, with better computing power, we can actually train new AI models to be able to make decisions in real time. Then we could use AI in things like fraud detection, risk assessment, and many more. So this will be the third trend that I'm seeing.
So we see these three trends, and like I mentioned, and like you mentioned earlier, you worked with the public sector for a very long time. What are some of the challenges that you're seeing right now with your interactions with the public sector?
Right.
What are the challenges that you've seen on the ground that government civil servants are actually facing when trying to achieve that digital transformation, when they're trying to leap forward into this digital dexterity? What are some issues that you're seeing, at least from the ground?
Yes. Digital dexterity requires a new mindset. And you know how government works, right? They tend to be conservative. If it ain't broken, don't fix it, don't touch it. But it doesn't really work. And with that, you need change from the top. The senior management has to believe in this. Because if they don't, it's not going to work very well. If they think it's an IT department problem, it's not going to work. The other thing about digital dexterity is about the mindset of taking risks, experiment, and fail fast. So the senior management must be willing to foster an environment that allows this, right? So if somebody has a new idea, you want to come out and you want to quickly build a prototype, bring it to the customer and say, does this work? Does this solve your problem? And if it doesn't, then go back to the drawing board. So the senior management must be willing to support this kind of environment. Of course, the other problem is there's a shortage of people with these digital capabilities. We have this problem in Singapore, let alone the developing countries. So this is a struggle. So it's important for the government agency to themselves build in a change management program to train up their own officers in having digital capabilities and mindset.
So final question for you, Sea Lin. What advice would you give governments in Asia who are watching this and who are thinking, actually, we should be accelerating? I mean, I'm not going to say that they haven't started, but what advice would you give governments who are trying to accelerate their digital dexterity, digital transformation programs, but are facing some of the problems that you face along the way? What advice would you give at least from a vendor perspective?
Most importantly, I think it starts with the end in mind. Yes, a lot of the digital transformation is about technology, but at the end of it, it's about delivering a service that is citizen-centric. So we must be able to evaluate the whole interaction journey with the government. I think this is the area, again, the Singapore government is doing quite well. They have a Moment of Life initiative, MOL. So essentially, it's looking at the different stages of a life of a citizen. So when you are maybe having a baby, or you're getting married, or you're getting your first house, so when certain key things happen in your life, and they want to be able to provide all the relevant services to you, regardless of the agencies that is providing these set of services. So begin with that in mind, instead of just implementing technology, so it's faster, so it's more efficient, but does it really help the citizens. So that's one. So the second thing I would recommend is to build actually a platform. That's actually what we are doing. To put in a platform to standardize a set of software that you need to push out digital services. So these are things that I would recommend. Yeah.
Thank you very much for those suggestions to governments, and thank you very much for joining us on the show today.
Most welcome.
Well, that was Sea Lin speaking to us from Aquaria, who are working with e-governments everywhere to digitize and do digital dexterity programs. Thank you very much for joining us. We are coming to you live from Cloud Expo Asia in Singapore. We're going to take a quick break and be back in a few minutes.